2 words, Revo Fitness. Here's a few more. Simple, 24/7, reformer Pilates, body scanners, massage chairs, squat racks, free weights, pin and plate loaded equipment, no lock-in contracts, no bullshit. All of that and more from just $9.69 a week. That's surprisingly affordable. Join now at Revo Fitness O'Connor or download the Revo Fitness app. RevoFitness.com.au or find the Revo Fitness app in the App Store.
The Nathan, Nat and Shaun podcast.
Welcome to the studio, our boss, David McClung.
Hello.
Hello, Dave.
Hi, David.
The voice of a generation, Dave.
Any ideas why you're here?
No, Sean told me and I actually have genuinely no idea.
Okay. So the other day, as you know, I'm squatting, doing a lot of squatting, which is to raise money for the National Breast Cancer Foundation. Great
Brilliant,
cause.
brilliant.
So I'm doing 174 squats a day. We're a third of the way through the month of March. My knees are screaming.
You're
It's
doing
great.
well.
Lots of people have been donating. Thank you to everybody who has donated. Link in bio. I just want to like Sean there.
Yeah.
David McClung, we want to talk about you donating to my cause, which
Hang on.
very much appreciate all the donations. But do you want to tell everybody what you did?
I donated to it.
Yeah.
No,
What
no,
did you
no,
do?
Don't.
What
no,
did you
you're
do?
going to make it sound bad.
Okay.
Okay.
Why don't you try and explain it, and we'll see if everybody else thinks this sounds bad.
I owed you $50.
Yes.
So what I decided to do was I donated that $50 to your squat thing.
In your name.
Yes.
So that you-
No. But
Yeah.
also but I put an extra $50 in there from me as well.
So you owed me $50.
Yep.
And then it was actually 40, but okay.
So I actually did more, but anyway.
So,
Thank you.
But you're getting a tax deduction. Because it's a tax for the money that you owed me. And I'd already donated $200 to my cause. So you...
I didn't think you'd realise.
So how are you defending this again? How are you defending that? What's happening there? Exactly.
It's inbuilt. He's Scottish in heritage, so it's kind of inbuilt.
And I did. It wasn't like I just donated the $50. I did donate another $50 of my money.
So
But you got a tax deduction for $100.
Yes.
But $50 of that was mine.
It's unbelievable. Yeah, I think it's very generous.
you didn't think that people would catch on to that. That's so good, Nat. And that's really good thinking. But
And also, he gets it's up on the on the list
So
of
everyone see it.
donations, on the wall of donations. As look at David McClung.
Yeah.
He
Let's go
donated
again.
$100. He's so generous.
I'm one of the bigger donations.
$50 of that is mine. So now I've donated $250 because I already put in $200 in my name
It was double donation day, by the way, when I did it.
when you
well
donated
played.
with my money. Yeah.
well
Yes.
played.
Yeah.
Do you know a tight ass?
It would be tight if I didn't do the extra 50, I reckon. But that's not tight. Sean?
Sean?
Oh, I think it's very strategic. it's really well thought out. It's amazing, wasn't
It
it?
was the way with which you just confidently said, "Oh, that $50, I'll put that in. $50 I owe you, I'll put that in." And I'm like, hang on a second, that's my money. That's like you went into my wallet, took $50 out, and then donated it.
You know what's even funny? I've already saved off the receipt for my...
Of course, yeah.
Yes, tight ass, Nat.
And that
was gonna defend
money
him
was
there.
from the fact that, like, last year I had to buy coffee beans on the way coming in because we were out of coffee beans. So I bought that, and then David claimed it back from the company, and it took him 6 months to sort of reimburse me, which he didn't. Here's Amy with the receipt from yesterday because it happened again. So what's going to happen there?
No, I'll give that one to you in cash.
Will you?
Well,
Will you?
when I get to
That's
the
what
bank.
you said. Oh, that's what you said last time.
Some people go to any lengths, Natalie, to get through with their tight asses. They're well thought out too.
Do you know a strategic tight ass too?
You know what? There's classics. When you go to the pub in a group of blokes and there's one guy and you know that person, he will wait to the end of the round, and sometimes he'll just disappear, or other people leave, and so instead of buying 6 beers, he's only buying two.
Yeah.
And they think about this. They go to sleep. They come up with strategies.
A friend of mine was the guy who would say, if we were eating out in a big group and everybody had put money in, at the end he'd say, I'll pay on my card. And so he'd pay on his card, but people were putting in extra for the tip and he'd just pocket it. So he would end up paying like
that's
$20
so
and everybody
smart.
else is paying like $70 or $80, and you go,
I've got to use that. Because if you also are those people who do that, they go, I'll pay my card because they're just after the points as well.
oh yeah,
So they're just
that too.
maximising everything as well.
Oh yeah, that's a good one. Josh, hello.
Hello, how are we?
Good,
Great,
Josh.
Who's the tight ass?
Oh, one of my good mates is a big tight ass. He, like, if we go out to the pub and everything like that, he's the first one to get around, and we all think, oh, this is really nice of him, but it's always the happy hour.
So, I mean, it's good because as Sean was saying, the people that wait till the end when most people have gone home or don't want to have another drink, that's strategic as well. But getting in when it's half price, that's also incredibly smart.
And then he decides to always, when it's his round after that, he'll get the cheapest beer himself and try and convince other people to do it as well.
Yeah, right.
And then as soon as he goes to the next person's round, he's buying the most boutique beer that you can get.
Yeah. Because every time you go into a joint, there'll be the beer of the day or the week or something along those lines. There'll be a $10 pint, right?
Yeah.
And then all the rest of them are $14.
Yeah.
Oh, this reminds me. My son, so he's got a card down at the Left Bank. And that gives you cheap drinks on a Friday,
Yes.
right? And anyway, I was down there and I was with him. And then I go, I'll get the beers. And so I bought him and a couple of my nephews beers, paid full tote odds.
Yes.
Then his round next time, he pulls out the card and gets
and
the
you're like,
discount.
why didn't you let me use the card?
Yes, and then he starts handing out to his mates when they come. So I'm playing full tote odds. And everyone else is getting a bloody good haircut on their beer. How does that work?
And you're the one providing a roof over his head. This is an outrage. Thank you,
ripped
Josh.
everywhere.
Sophie's in Yanchep. Hello.
Good morning.
All right.
Hey, Soph.
Who's the strategic tight ass? Soph?
It's me, and I'm completely exposing myself here.
Yes, okay, go for it.
So I am the designated collector for birthdays, weddings, everything at work.
Yeah.
And I'm constantly looking like the hero. Sophie's so good, like constantly collecting for people because it's one after the other. Little do they know, I don't actually put in any money for it, and nobody knows.
Because if you collect and then you go and buy the present as well, is that your job
Go and
too?
buy the present.
Yeah, they don't know.
$20, $50 down because I haven't put in. They have no idea.
Sophie, you cheeky little devil.
Sophie, is your real name Sophie?
Maybe.
Sophie, when this is you need to change your name, okay? Wow.
There you go.
Never trust the person who collects the money.
Well,
Sean's going to suddenly start collecting for people's birthdays.
I do like the person who's out there doing
Yes.
that because I'm very, that's not in my wheelhouse,
No,
you know.
we know.
Okay, sorry. You've worked with me for a long time, haven't you?
Oh, Sophie, that is a strategic and tight-assy. Well done. Joe is in Kelmscott. Hello.
Good morning.
All
Hey,
right.
Joe.
Who's the strategic tight-ass in your life?
My brother.
Yeah, what does he do?
So he got the passed down loving for secondhand shopping from my mum and dad.
Yeah.
And so my brother drives a Bobcat for his job, and his name is Robert. And he will go secondhand shopping and walk around with shirts on with Peter on it, with Steve on it. So all the high vis with anyone else's name on it.
I think that's
I mean,
brilliant.
that is pretty funny. And that doesn't hurt anyone. That's great. That's great.
Anyone. It just confuses everybody on the work site.
Yeah, it's like, I thought that guy's name was Rob.
What's the name of the other place?
You
It was
know.
Steve. What's... Oh,
Well, I thought his name was Bob on the Bobcat, but no, it turns out his name's Peter. Oh, it's amazing. Thank you, Joe. Let's go to Ed. Hello. Ed, can you hear us?
Yes, I can. Can you
Hey,
hear
Ed.
me?
Yeah, got you now,
we
mate.
got you now, Ed. Okay, who's the strategic tight ass in your life?
Look, there's an unwritten rule at our work that if you're on overtime, you
Yes.
buy coffees for the new crew that you're joining for the day.
Okay.
Yes.
There's a one well-known tight ass at our work who just literally never buys coffees, but it happens to be whenever someone's on overtime, he'll come down with the group and
Pop a free
partake in
one.
the coffees. Yeah, and then one day I was on overtime and I'm standing there waiting to pay for my coffees, and there's a muffin sitting on the bench, and I'm like, who's put a muffin here? And it's the tight ass. He's snuck a muffin in there.
The audacity. I mean,
Yeah,
a coffee's
the
one thing, but a muffin. It's an outrage.
In a muffin.
Yeah, and
Exactly.
Never coughs up himself.
And it reminds me, Nathan's told a story a few times when he was travelling overseas. Anyway, they were going through duty free, and I can't remember what he was buying at the time, but one of his friends who was copping a free holiday with him decides to sneak in like a carton of darts to try to...
walked up and put it on the counter, and it's like, what's that? What's that for? Who did you expect for that? The audacity. Oh, thank you, Ed. Sally, hello.
Hello?
Hi,
Hey,
Sal.
Sal. Okay, who's the strategic tight ass?
Hello?
Yeah, we've got you, Sal. Can you hear us, mate?
Yeah.
Fantastic. Well, you're on.
Who's the strategic tight ass, Sally?
Sorry. I used to work with this work colleague. Quite often we would buy each other's coffees and pay each other back.
Yes.
Dinners and that sort of stuff. We were out at lunch one day, and there was a little kids section, and they had a toy, like a little toy, what do you call it, cash register thing?
Yes.
Oh.
So she's given my child a couple of dollars to play with it while we're at lunch. And then when we were calculating what we owed each other at the end of the week, she threw that couple of dollars in for what I owed her.
She threw the cup.
$2.
That
Couple of coins. So you can
Couple of
play
coins
with
that gave my child to play with. I ended up having to pay
you
her
can't
back.
do that.
Yeah. I mean, come on. Like, that's... Yeah, I think you just cop that, don't you?
People are funny, aren't they?
Aren't they weird? Oh, thank you, Sally.
This is the Nathan, Nat and Shaun podcast.
2 words, Revo Fitness. Here's a few more. Simple, 24/7, Reformer Pilates, body scanners, massage chairs, squat racks, free weights, pin and plate loaded equipment, no lock-in contracts, no bullshit. All of that and more from just $9.69 a week. That's surprisingly affordable. Join now at Revo Fitness O'Connor or download the Revo Fitness app. RevoFitness.com.au or find the Revo Fitness app in the App Store.
Nat, seeing the reports of the shark attack down in Esperance, number one, I have not been there. This is your home backyard, but we know that those waters are unbelievably beautiful, number one.
Sean, okay, so...
And number two is...
We're talking about the guy that's missing from Wharton Beach, and it's presumed that because his board was found with massive shark teeth marks in it.
Yes.
Now, first of all, Wharton Beach, you're looking about 60, 70 k's out of town, so it's not close to town at all. But this is such a popular beach. I was there when I was down in Esperance in January. I went there because from where my parents live, they're very close to Cape Green National Park, but you can't take your dog there.
Okay.
And so if I wanted to take the dog to the beach, I would either drive half an hour back into town or half an hour to Wharton Beach. And it is the most pristine, beautiful beach you can imagine, and there's kind of rocks down one end where it's quite sheltered, so there's lots of kids playing, and of course there were heaps of people down there because there's a caravan park just across the way, and so very popular with families. Local families would go on holiday there at that time of year, and so there's just kids playing in the shallows, and so many people. You can drive your car onto the beach, so there were cars all lined up away, but there were so many people there, and then it's a big bay, so it goes all the way around, and that's, further around is where the surf, but it's a very popular surf beach as well. But unfortunately, the downside to that is it is an area, that whole south coast is an area where there are a lot of sharks. It's, they breed in the Great Australian Bight.
Yep.
You're not far away from there, and you're talking about great whites.
Yes.
And so the reality is, and Esperance has been haunted by a number of fatal and non-fatal attacks, but it's just heartbreaking when it happens.
Just seeing the beach on the news, the water is see-through.
I know. It's amazing.
So when you're out there in those conditions, and this happens down south when I'm down there, and the water is see-through, you have a sense of being safe.
Yeah.
Because you can see everything around you.
It's true.
And you're talking about an animal the size of a tarago coming at you. You would think you would be able to, I don't know, get some warning. You'd be able to see it out to sea a little bit.
Yeah.
But
I know, but even
that's
then,
the nature of
even
those
if you
beasts.
can see it, I mean, I think that's a false security because they can move a lot faster than you can.
Oh, yeah. No doubt about it.
Yeah.
And they're predators, so they're not... You're just saying, hey, I'm over here.
Yeah. Years ago, my cousin's son threw up a drone down there, and he took a whole heap of photos, including one of my niece as she was just lying on the boogie board. So it's actually an amazing shot because that water is so blue. But when you look in the bottom corner of that photo, there's a shadow there that has to be a shark. And you just think they're there all the time.
Yep.
You know, and you're right. You would think because the water is so clear that you could see it, but you don't.
Yeah.
You don't.
Horrible for all the people that were on the beach, also for the family, and I'm sure we'll have more information today.
It's just like, you know, there's no, and not, you know, we all think, sharky weather and that sort of thing. There's actually no such thing.
No such thing.
Yeah, it's just the hearts go out to that guy's family. It's just the worst possible scenario for everybody, you
Definitely.
know. And they had to call the ambulance. It took an hour for the 2 ambulances to get out there. Even not that they could do anything anyway, but you just go. You know, the ambulance service there is run by volunteers, so they have to ring around, get people who's rostered on to get people out there. It's the whole community will be reeling from this once again.
Most definitely.
Heartbreaking.
It's the Nathan, Nat and Shaun podcast.
Natalie, I was in a bad mood when I kicked off today, and you don't need that on a Tuesday
because it's
Tuesday. Oh, is it?
What's got you going today?
Well, I woke up and I did tell you this off on Friday, and it's very similar. So the last person to go to bed last night was my older son, Lachlan, because he has footy training later on a Monday night.
Yes.
And everything's put on a platter, right? So he wakes up in the morning, you know, he comes home, dinner's done there.
So he gets home from footy training, dinner's ready there and then, like, waiting for him?
Yep, and everything's pretty much clean to an absolute...
yes, so he doesn't have to do it. He just have to put his plates in the dishwasher.
And there's always a couple of things that we leave for him to do so that he's pitched in.
Yes.
And last night it was put the bins out. So one was the indoor bin that, you know, that everyone has, and the other one is that food scrap bin.
Yes.
And it was just put out there and tied up, so all you have to do is pick them up and then walk it outside.
And which is not that far.
Nah, not at all.
Okay.
Not at all. So then I get up this morning, 4 o'clock, I walk into the kitchen, turn the lights on, and the effing bins. I was pretty good at stopping there. They're just sitting there.
So he had one job.
One job.
Didn't do it.
And last Friday was the same deal. We have a water jug, two of the boys will always drink the water out
of it, yes.
and then leave the jug on the bench.
Instead of filling it up again and putting it back in the
just
fridge.
chucking it back in. I mean, it's not that hard. And before I went to bed, I put out a message to him directly, the same son, Lachlan, and I said, hey, fill the water jug up and, you know, clean the sink or something, chuck the dishwasher on. None of those things were done.
Literally the bare minimum.
Bare minimum.
Yeah, well, you're mad at him. That's fair enough. I'm mad at my cat. So my cat, in the middle of the night, I woke up and heard her meowing, and she has a particular noise that she makes when she's really impressed with herself that she's killed something and brought it in for me.
Yeah.
And so I thought, I'm going to have to deal with that in the morning. And so then when I got up, I'm walking. I have a very long hallway, and the hallway is the place where she likes to lay out the kill. And such a treat for me. And so I used my phone to turn the torch on to see if I could find it. And there was nothing there. And I went, oh, that's weird. I thought that maybe maybe I got that wrong. Maybe I just was dreaming that meowing or whatever. Mm-hmm. And then when I went to leave, I actually turned the light on in the hallway, and there was just a mouse's head. And I'm like, first of all, where's the rest of it?
Yeah, good point.
And second of all, then you've got to deal with that. So as I'm trying to leave the house, I'm like, I've got to go and pick up this thing and put it. I use the dog poo bags for that. Yeah. Very effective. But it's like, and into the bin. It's like, I just didn't want to have to deal with that this morning. Do you know what I mean? And I know 100%. She thinks it's a present for me, but I don't want it. It's a shit present.
Yeah, it is. It is. You don't need it in the morning. We're just trying to get through a Tuesday.
Jodie's in Middle Swan. Hello.
Hello.
Hey, Jodie.
Had a rough start to the day too, Jodes?
I did. My husband, he loves to get up and wander in the night, and usually it's on his way to the bathroom, but he's not really awake. And then the lovely wandering this morning had at 2 o'clock in the morning whether he turned all our bedroom lights on right in my face.
Jodie, yeah.
Shaun, can you imagine how furious you'd be?
Oh, yeah. Megan used to do that before she used to come to bed because she'd always come to bed late.
Yes.
She'd turn them all on.
After you've gone to bed and asleep. Yeah.
I understand where you're coming from, Jodes. And you know what I used to do? You know what you need to do, because this is what I did a few times. I would have told Nat this.
Yes.
So a few times when I get up to go early in the morning, I just turn the lights on just to piss her right off.
Yes, at 4 a.m. Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah,
sorry about that.
A little bit of revenge. You got to do what you got to do to stay happy in your marriage. Thank you, Jodie. Rochelle's in Willerton. Hello.
Hi there.
Hey, Rochelle. Okay, talk to us. Have you had a rough start to the day too?
pretty much. Been saving up for a year for our daughter's 18.
Yeah.
They don't want to party. I just want to go to the Grand Prix, Mum.
Oh, yes.
Saved up, booked tickets, got accommodation, woke up at 4:30 this morning to the cancellation of the accommodation, and we're flying out tomorrow.
Oh, that's a stiff
Rochelle.
one. What do you mean? What did they say? They overbooked or something? Melissa. Rochelle, sorry.
There's not much. They just say, cancelled, refunded. There's not many words I can say on the radio to describe.
I'm so mad for you. Was it an Airbnb or was it like a hotel Airbnb?
It's a Airbnb. Yeah.
I didn't know they could do that.
We have to wait 15 days.
Oh, to get your money? Oh,
yes.
No.
So my poor husband currently, who's a superstar, is at home. I'm on my way to work. He's at home now, trying to get something that we don't have to actually travel 2 hours into.
Yes. And of course, it's, your day's out.
Yeah. Oh, that's horrendous.
And I don't even like the Grand Prix. It's going to Melbourne.
Oh.
So wish us luck.
Oh, Rochelle, good
Rochelle,
luck.
that's a
Yes,
stiff
I
one.
hope that you get there. Oh,
That's
it's
not
a
great.
big party town. It's going to be a great weekend. But yeah,
So
not,
you just
not if you're
what
sleeping
is
in the
this?
streets. Yeah,
That's right.
Oh, Melissa, hello.
Hello, how are you?
Good, Melissa.
Have you had a rough start to the day already too?
Yes. I have a very large dog named Sarge, who is quite well known throughout my friend community.
Yes.
He is part Irish Wolfhound, part stag.
Oh, God, he's a giant.
He is a giant, so you can imagine how when he does a poo,
Yeah.
it is very large. It's probably about as big as your cat.
Yeah.
And sometime during the night, he has gone out and stood in one, then come back and jumped on the bed, lied next to me, head down, feet up the other end. But then he proceeded to have nightmares where his foot is banging against my chest like thumper. So I've woken up and gone, what the heck is that smell? And, I'm comforting Sarge, thinking, you poor thing, you're having a nightmare. I get up, turn on the light in the bathroom. I am covered in, footprints of undescribable, disgusting, yes. And then turn on the light to the bedroom, and there's Sarge just lying still asleep.
Yeah.
And the bed is covered in ginormous footprints of dog poo.
So you have to strip the bed for starters. Wash the
and
dog.
I'm at the park now and have just picked up the second lot of dog poo that needs 2 dog poo bags. So if you're using a dog poo bag to pick up whatever your cat
a mouse's head, yeah.
Yes, well...
Yeah, there was plenty of room in the bag for the mouse's head.
Oh, totally get where you're coming from.
Have to go home now and wash everything.
Yes, rough. That is also a rough start to the day, isn't it?
That's
Amazing.
a terrible start to the day.
Yeah. We're sorry, everybody. We're sorry.
Nathan, Nat and Shaun is a Nova podcast. For more great comedy shows like this, head to novapodcasts.com.au.
2 words, Revo Fitness. Here's a few more. Simple, 24/7, reformer Pilates, body scanners, massage chairs, squat racks, free weights, pin and plate loaded equipment, no lock-in contracts, no bullshit. All of that and more from just $9.69 a week. That's surprisingly affordable. Join now at Revo Fitness O'Connor or download the Revo Fitness app. RevoFitness.com.au or find the Revo Fitness app in the App Store.